not going to mute us right now until.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, well.
We're so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. We've got a big group here, so we're gonna wait a couple more minutes for folks, and I'm just gonna set up our cameras. Just be a moment.
I know they sold me.
Know some people?
Hmm?
You know some people?
I'm just gonna do a little bit more.
Recording in progress.
Okay, everybody. We're so glad to have you all here today. I see a lot of familiar faces and familiar names, but a few new folks. So we're so glad to have you all. We'll start in just a couple minutes. We've got 34 households that signed up today, so it's such a big group. I'll start by saying my name is Sarah. I work at Common Ground Food Co-op, and I am a part of our marketing department, but I also help lead our education programs and our cooking classes. And we're just, again, so excited to have you all today. We'll be using the chat and the comments for most of our communications if you have questions, but if you're ever lost, feel free to unmute yourself throughout the class, and we're happy to answer any questions, and we want to make this as interactive as possible. We wish we could all be in the same room, all cooking together, but in a way we are, because you'll be able to enjoy all of the recipes that we make today, all from home. So before we get started, I wanted to introduce my good friend Hind Mhaouer from Casablanca Bazaar. Before we dive in, I just want to do a mic check. So can you hear us all? Will you put into the chat if you can hear us? And Hind, will you say a little something?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you today, cooking all together.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
So Maura and Sam, thanks Maura and Sam. Says all clear. Okay. And I'm just going to do one other thing. And I'm just going to mute a couple of folks. Of course, if you want to ask questions, you just let us know, and we're happy to answer as we go. But okay, I will get started. So my name is Sarah, and this is Hind. And today we're going to be doing a Moroccan cooking class. Hind had made up an amazing menu last summer, I believe. And I was just waiting to have her back. So had anybody taken Hind's first class with us last year and are back for another? Let us know. And then I would love to do a special welcome to everybody that is taking a class with us for the first time. We do a lot of these different, a lot of virtual cooking classes, usually featuring cultural cuisines or local food. We do that once a month. We also do a kind of medley of in-person classes in our classroom space where we're located right now. Yeah, it's just always great to be cooking with everybody from our community. So, and we're so lucky to have all the special talent come in and share family recipes. So, we're gonna walk you through all of the 3 recipes that we're gonna make today. Everybody works in their own kitchen setup, and stovetops and ovens all operate a little bit different. So, feel free to let us know if you need any support. But we'll make sure that you're guided through each of the steps as we go along. So, Hind, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? And Casablanca Bazaar, maybe?
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hind Mhaouer, mom of 3, like co-owner of Casablanca Bazaar. I've been like in the community for about 14 years now, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love being around the Champagne, Urbana people. Yeah, cooking is my passion and also is my job as a mom.
Yeah.
So I cook every day, and I love to cook, and I love like spread the love to my kids through the dishes,
I love it.
through the meals. So, and I'm here today to share some of this love with you guys.
And I can't wait for those of you, I think, that haven't taken her classes before. It's going to be just some really amazing dishes. So it looks like Alia has taken the class before, and let's see. Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, I'm so excited for you all. So, Hind, do you want to kind of introduce what meals or what dishes we're going to make today?
Yeah, so we will be making we call it in Morocco Zaalook. It's an eggplant side dish. So with some tomato sauce and the spices. And as a main dish, we're gonna make a Kufta Tagine, like ground beef balls with another tomato sauce that goes like with bread. You can dip and the bread in the sauce and like eat it. And as a sweet, we're gonna make a semolina sweets.
Yeah.
Semolina coconut sweets.
We usually don't repeat recipes, but I was so infatuated with these coconut semolina cookies from last time that I kind of begged her, like, can we do these again? So yeah, it's we've got a good medley for you, and there's a few folks that are vegetarian. Basically the recipe is almost identical. We subbed out the ground beef for a Beyond Meat. Yeah, overall, it will be kind of a seamless trade for the meat.
Okay.
And then in terms of the class, we're going to start, you said, with the Zaalook.
With the Zaalook, so to give the eggplant some time to be cooked. And then we're gonna start our tagine, and finally we're gonna cook our sweets.
That sounds great. So so we gave you recipe cards here. We might make some edits as we go to the spices. So we'll repeat if there's any changes that we see on the recipe cards. I know that we might be reducing some of that paprika and cumin, but otherwise we'll just guide you through these recipes. So we've got, got a lot of ingredients here for you. and I'll do a close-up camera when we need some details and some close-ups. But we're basically just going to be using a cutting board. We've got 2 bowls, an extra bowl for all of our scraps, some spoons, a wooden spoon for mixing, any knife that you're comfortable with. And then we have kind of a larger saute pan that has a lid. I think you said the lid's kind of an important
Yeah.
part of it.
To
And this will be for the tagine.
yes. Also the eggplant, because it needs that steam to be cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have another smaller lidded pot for the Zaalook, which will be the eggplant dish. Okay, so should we get started with the Zaalook?
Yes.
All right.
We can start by cleaning the vegetables.
Okay. We'll just
Yeah.
wash the eggplant and tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay, let me get the close-up camera up again. Oh, so great to see that Mary and you also took the class last time. It's great to have you both back.
Yeah. Also, we will be washing some of the parsley and the cilantro.
Okay. So we're just going to be washing our ingredients for the Zaalook. That's going to be like a stewed eggplant.
So I'll be taking maybe half of the
Yeah, I got that dimmer too.
Okay. Ed had a question about whether we will be peeling the eggplant for the Zaalook.
we can it's up to the people, like if they want to peel it all, they can. We usually keep some strips to give like a
color.
nice like decor. But if you don't like the skin or you want to peel it all, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We might leave a little bit on.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then hi Joe. Joe says, Joe and Penny took the class last time. We love Casablanca Bazaar.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
glad.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I will get some kind of close-ups so you can follow along.
Okay.
So we're just about to wash our eggplant and tomatoes. Okay.
We're gonna wash the
parsley and cilantro. We're only
cilantro.
gonna use half of the bunch of
Bunch of-
cilantro and half the bunch of parsley. You'll have a little bit extra left over. So use it for more garnishing. Okay, I'm gonna add the extra camera so you can see some more details. Of course, if you have any questions, you just keep us posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, we're gonna start peeling the eggplant.
All right, so we just have a paring knife
Mhm.
and you're just doing it.
Edges,
Sounds good.
top and bottom. And yeah, as I said, feel like whatever comfortable with. Either you peel it all, or you can leave us like some skin on.
Okay. I kind of do this with a cucumber. Sometimes we
Yes.
leave a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, just to give that.
So again, if you had a peeler, you could probably use one, but this paring knife kind of gets that through that thick skin.
Mhm. Just because the eggplant is large.
Mhm. One note that we
Yeah,
did
so
is
I took most of it. I just leave some strips.
we gave everybody a big eggplant rather than two medium ones. So we'll be that the recipe will still work great, but
So
we
we're
thought
gonna
there was
cut
a
it
lot.
into small cubes.
Okay, cube
Yes.
the eggplant.
Mhm.
So you're just cutting it in half and then kind of slicing down the
Mhm.
lengthwise. However you like to cut your eggplant, we'll just do like maybe a half an inch
Yes.
cube.
Mhm. The smaller you cut them, the faster they cook.
Okay.
So, and then we're gonna put whatever in the
So
pot.
got like a larger pot with a lid that we're going to use for the eggplant.
Mhm.
And we're just going to add it right in. So fast.
I'm trying to be fast.
Hey, any questions so far? So we're just dicing up our eggplant and we're putting it right into the pot. And we're about to get eggplant. It's about to be eggplant season. So I know that we're going to get a lot of tomatoes, and these actually tomatoes are from Southern Illinois. So we'll be getting a lot more as the summer goes along.
Mhm.
Alexis says, no need to salt the eggplant flesh.
Salt.
I think sometimes in other recipes, people salt the outside of the eggplant when
Oh,
they cut it.
they're
so
gonna fry it.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't need the
Okay,
step.
cool.
Yeah. Salt it to take the moisture. Yeah. Yeah, this is usually to fry them, but we will not do that
Okay.
today.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of recipes like
Mhm.
for eggplant parmesan, for instance, where
Yeah.
they like have it sit.
Take the moisture with salt and then fry them. Even Zaalook, there are like a lot of ways to make it. as I told you, you can grill the the eggplant, you can grill it, you can bake it, and then use the peel it off, and then, but I chose this method because of the electrical stove.
Mhm.
So this is the easier
Yeah,
one with the electrical stove. But there are other ways to do it.
yeah. Alexa says, sometimes if your eggplant is bitter, it can help to salt it for a little bit, and it like draws up that water.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're definitely welcome to try it.
Yeah.
We will put salt in with some of the spices, but I
Mhm.
think yeah, I think that definitely helps with frying, or if it's
Yeah,
bitter.
frying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. To take the moisture from the eggplant.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, we don't need that.
So I'm curious, has anybody had oh, there's a couple questions. So
Yes.
how many tomatoes in this recipe? So Marcy, for the Zaalook, we're gonna use 2 tomatoes for this
2.
recipe,
Mhm.
and then the other 2 are gonna be used for the tagine.
Mm-hmm.
So a
The
lot of tomatoes, celebrating tomatoes for these
Yeah.
recipes.
the eggplant is large, so we're gonna use 2. Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna peel. Oh, we still have this piece.
So wow,
It's a lot.
you know, we're like, okay, yeah, these eggplants are just abnormally big, so we're
Yeah.
we're gonna give everybody one because we don't want to overbalance or you know, with the recipes. Sometimes
Yeah, if
it's good to have it balanced.
either 2 medium or 1 large.
Yeah. Yeah, we have almost a full pot here.
Mm-hmm.
And you said we're gonna work on the tomatoes next?
Yes, we're gonna peel it and dice it up the same way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you could use a peeler or your paring knife.
Yeah, so for me, I'm gonna use this knife, but if someone is like more comfortable with a peeler, yeah, they're welcome to use it.
Having the skin on probably doesn't break down when you're.
Yes, it doesn't turn to a really good, beautiful sauce.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So this method for the Zaalook is gonna be more of like a steamed eggplant with spices, and then we'll mash it up as it's,
Yes.
you know,
So we're gonna take
cooking.
off the grains.
Okay. Oh, like the
Yeah, the
seeds?
seeds, yeah.
Okay, so scoop
Mhm.
out the seeds. Okay. You're just kind of scooping them out. You cut your tomato, you peeled your whole tomato of the skin and then cut it
Mhm.
widthwise, and are kind of just scooping out the seeds.
Yeah, if
Well-
I'm going fast, I can slow down a
Okay.
little bit for people to follow me. Any is, that's okay. If any doesn't want to come out,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I've always personally loved the seeds.
You do?
I do.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of like Italian recipes, for instance, they take the seeds out, and it makes
Mhm.
the flesh becomes a little bit sweeter because
Yeah.
of it. Alexis says, is it possible to use canned tomatoes if tomatoes aren't in season?
Yeah.
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 We're going to be using palmy today. And you can use any type of tomato, but this particularly when we've done Indian cuisine recipes, our instructor Surisha loves this brand because it
Really?
doesn't have the sometimes the tomato sauces, they have the citric acid
Oh,
that's added
so
to them, and
Mhm.
so
This one
it
is
can be kind of
healthier.
strong. So this
Mhm.
one's good. Okay, is everybody doing good? So you've just peeled your eggplant, you dice it up fairly small, maybe a quarter to a half an inch. And then you're also peeling your 2 tomatoes. If you're interested, we've you have the option to scoop out the seeds. And we're just doing this in a big kind of compost bowl so that you don't have to mess up your cutting board.
Mhm.
Have any of you been to Morocco or enjoy Moroccan cuisine?
We're planning to go.
Yeah, are planning to go? Maybe you'll be inspired. I'm inspired to go ever since last class. Um, you have any favorite memories of cooking, or who did you learn to cook from? Your
Me,
mom?
yeah,
Oh, you
my
did.
mom.
You learned?
Mhm.
Yeah. Aaliyah says, I've been to Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Uh,
Yeah, it's similar culture. Yeah, it's similar.
Genevieve says, yes, in 1980 we went to Tangier.
Tangier. It's the north, in the north of Morocco.
I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
Well, now you have a little bit of Morocco uh, today. So your mom, she was as good of a cook as you were, I'm sure.
Yeah, she she was a teacher, but she always cook for us like
Aw.
on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We always like ate like home food,
Mhm.
and she also like likes to to cook like the traditional dishes of Morocco.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you said that like, kind of traditionally the tagine is something that's kind of like built, a fire is built for it, and it's typically, you you're cooking the tagine over fire.
Yeah, this is the traditional way, the old way, but people still use it. Just, now with like time,
Yeah.
people turns to like stoves but they still, if they want to go on a picnic or like they have time at home, they can do it on a charcoal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you're
Uh,
just slicing the halves of the tomatoes that you cored
mhm,
and peeled, and then you're just doing like a small dice
mhm.
with your paring knife. Will that be just go right into the pan
The
with the
pan.
eggplant?
Yes, and after that we're gonna add the garlic, the parsley and cilantro, then some olive oil and the spices.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Trying to slice these as smaller as I can,
Okay.
just to not take a lot of time.
I'll turn the refrigerator off because it's making a little bit of noise. I don't know if it's being picked up by the mics. Okay, a little quieter. So you said you have 3 sons. Do they have a favorite recipe, or of all of these 3 dishes? And besides the cookies, I'm sure they like the cookies,
For
but-
today's, yeah, they like all of them. They like Zaalook and they like the Kufta Tagine. They
Mhm.
like the cookies. I just made the cookies at home. They love them. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And did you learn the cookie recipe? Has that been something that you made, or did you learn that recipe from your family?
For the cookies,
Yeah.
the cookies are like are very traditional in Morocco. So you can find them in the weddings, in the like birthdays,
Mm,
any like baby showers, like
okay.
any occasion, you can like find the cookies. So they're very traditional in Morocco. Yeah. So I make them like for my kids during any like occasion that I like.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to use the semolina because I think I've um there's been a couple of things that I've baked with semolina with like a
Mhm.
like
Bread,
an orange cake
Orange cake.
or like the
Mhm.
pasta, most people know about the semolina for
Yes,
the
for
pasta, but
pasta.
it's
Mhm.
it's like you wouldn't have known how
For the
great it could
cake,
be.
it needs to be like did you use a syrup for it to make it moist?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a tomato
needs
or like an
a
orange syrup.
Syrup, yeah, because it's kind of hard, so it needs something to moist it and to make it very soft.
So we're got some questions. So
Mhm.
Nilesh, hey Nilesh, do we turn the stove on for the eggplant? So we haven't turned it on yet. We're
Yeah,
just
in a
doing some
minute.
prep.
In a minute.
We'll turn it on
Now,
soon.
basically.
Once you're done with chopping your eggplant and your tomatoes,
we're
then
gonna-
we'll turn it on. If you
yes.
want it like low or high heat,
Medium.
medium heat.
Yeah, medium heat. So now we're gonna drizzle the olive oil and turn on the stove.
Okay, so we're gonna do medium heat once the tomatoes and the eggplant are prepped into your pot. And then we've got, no worry, Alexis, she says, sorry for asking so many questions. I
No,
assume
that's
asking
okay.
plum paste tomatoes would work really well because they have fewer seeds and are denser flesh. Or do you want juicier tomatoes like these? So sometimes people use like a
The
Roma.
Yeah, if you use Roma, you can add, for example, a little bit of a tomato sauce just to have a stew.
Like a
with
little bit
it.
more liquidy.
Yeah, more liquidy.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, so we're using an induction burner. So our stove might be a little bit different from yours, but we want to
Yeah,
put
a
a
lot.
medium heat. And then, Marion, you had a question about tell us how much spices. So
We will add spices
Um,
in a minute.
we'll add spices in a minute, but we're not going to add all of the spices that we gave you. I believe the only difference that we're going to be doing is the paprika um
1 teaspoon.
is going to be, instead of 2 tablespoons, it's going to be 1 teaspoon of paprika for the Zaalook
Mhm.
and a half a teaspoon of cumin. So those are the 2 edits to the
Yeah. So now I'm gonna be
Get that down.
drizzling some olive.
like you think maybe a couple tablespoons?
Yes.
What she
maybe
said.
Half the amount.
1 teaspoon.
Is it already half? Yes.
Did one of you guys have a question? So we're gonna do like 2
Got it.
tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil in with the tomatoes and eggplant. Does that make sense? And then we'll get to the spices in a minute. How's everybody doing so far?
Still working on tomatoes.
Okay,
Okay.
take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. You want me to lower the temp a little bit more?
Yes, a little bit.
So we're gonna do like a medium
Mhm.
heat.
Medium heat. And we're gonna put the lid on
Okay, yeah. You want to capture all of
the
the
steam.
steam.
Mm-hmm.
Maura and Sam says, cutting tomatoes. Sorry, we are a little slow. Haha. No,
That's okay.
no,
That's
we're
okay.
okay. There's
Yeah. I can
34
give you some
households.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 34 households. We're all on a different, we'll all be cooking in a little bit different way, but
Mhm.
we're so glad to have you here.
Mhm.
So I'll just repeat the things again. So we peeled our eggplant, but we didn't peel it all the way. We left some of the strips of the skin, and we chopped that eggplant up into like quarter to half diced pieces. We put that into our big pot. It's kind of like a stock pot or smaller stock pot or a bigger saucepan. And then we washed the 2 tomatoes. We cored the stem out, and then we just used the paring knife, or you could use a peeler, and just peeled the skin off the 2 tomatoes and chopped it up small,
Mhm.
and then put those in with the eggplant, and then We did
Good.
about like 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
Olive oil.
And then this is on a medium heat. And we added the lid just so that we capture all of the
steam.
steam. So
The next step is we're gonna work on the garlic and the parsley and cilantro.
okay. So for the garlic, you're right on time, Alexis. She's like, did you add the garlic already?
Not yet.
Not yet. So we're gonna add, we gave everybody 4 cloves of garlic.
Mhm.
We're gonna use 2 of them and just
On
peel the
Zaalook.
skin
Mhm.
off for the Zaalook. And I think we said minced, is that right? Minced for the garlic, or do you want a little bigger?
Yeah, we can grate it.
Grate it? Okay.
Mhm. On the smaller,
I've been loving grating my ginger and garlic. So if you do have a grater, that would be great. Ha, didn't mean to say that. Okay. So you could mince it or you can grate it. Grating it kind of makes it even more fine.
Mhm.
And you said you want to use the
The
smaller side
yeah.
for the garlic.
Mhm.
I also love to grate. So I make scones and other like baked dishes and like pies and things, and grating the frozen butter is my favorite way to make sure that the you can get that really crumbly
Good
crust.
meat.
Hey, so much quicker than the mincing.
Yeah.
So we use the
Okay.
small side of the grater to grate the 2 cloves, the whole cloves of garlic.
Mhm. So we're gonna add them to the pots.
Okay. Might increase our heat just a little bit. We're kind of looking for just a little bit of steam, but
Mhm.
not a hard simmer because we don't
Yes.
really have that much liquid right now.
Mhm. If needed, you can add a little bit of water if
Okay.
you feel like it's gonna be burned or something.
Okay.
A little water, yeah.
Okay.
But if you don't need it, if you feel it's not, so I need it because the tomato will be watery and the eggplant will be watery too.
So we added between 2 and 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
Yeah.
So we have our little olive oil container. You can just spoon 3 spoonfuls of olive oil into
Yeah,
your
it
pot.
will release water.
Mhm.
The
And if-
vegetables will
yeah.
release water.
And if you're someone that cooks on high heat all the time, this will be a fun exercise to do a little bit lower temp and kind of slow and steady for letting that moisture come out of the eggplant and the tomatoes. So
Mhm.
if you do notice that your pot that you're, down the line as you're cooking the Zaalook, feel free to add a little bit, maybe like as little water as possible,
Yeah.
but maybe like,
Mhm. Two
2
teaspoons.
teaspoons
Yeah,
as needed.
as needed. Yeah.
Okay. So we've washed, so we added our garlic, the 2 cloves of garlic that we grated. So they're in with the tomatoes and the olive oil and eggplant. And then we just rinsed half a bunch of cilantro and half a bunch of parsley. And we're gonna use this for both the Kufta Tagine and the Zaalook. So you were kind of taking up,
Yeah, I'm
cutting
gonna
off
get
the
rid of
ends
these ends.
of the stems, but do
Mhm.
you only use the leaves typically, or do you use the
No, we
stems
can use
and
these
the stems
very
too?
fine, yeah,
Okay,
stems.
so we're just gonna cut these 2 half bunches as small as possible.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing better than fresh herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that Moroccan cuisine usually uses cilantro and parsley
yes.
kind of like
And
staple?
almost, yeah, and almost every dish.
Yeah, and it's so good for you.
Mhm.
I think I mentioned last class when we were together that the we had a Syrian cooking instructor that was talking about how parsley
Parsley
is like
is-
the lifeblood
Mhm.
of their
Yeah.
diet, and just it's so
Yeah.
good for you too, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, they use parsley a lot. Mhm. In their, they have a very familiar or a famous salad that's called
Tabbouleh.
tabbouleh. Yeah, it's full of parsley.
Yeah, and she was like, it's more parsley than bulgur.
Yeah, than bulgur, yeah.
Oh, and you have to tell us about this
Yeah.
fancy knife.
This is a fancy knife, as Sarah said. So I use it just to chop the parsley and the cilantro, but you feel free to use a knife or a grinder, an electrical grinder or
Okay, like food
food
processor,
processor. Yeah,
or you can just be as fine as possible.
yeah, as fine as possible.
So what do they call this knife? What do you call it?
Me,
Or just knives?
knife for parsley, parsley knife.
I love it.
Yeah.
And there was someone, I don't know if they're here, oh, Mezzaluna? Does sound familiar?
Mezzaluna.
Alexis says Mezzaluna is what she calls this
This
type
is
of
what's called it in
knife.
maybe in English. This is what they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the
Yeah.
name.
Oh yes. Okay, so Joe, what was it? Joe and Penny.
Penny,
They took
they
the
take
class
it.
last time because I'm so glad that you're back, Joe and Penny. So they took the class last time and special ordered the knife from Hind through Casablanca Bazaar. So are you using it today? I hope
Yes,
so.
I hope you use it.
Yeah. And if anybody falls in love with this knife, which I am, you can talk to Hind or go to Casablanca Bazaar,
Yes.
which we forgot to say is inside Lincoln Square Mall. So, yeah, it's right across from Balderota's. It's right in the centermost part of Lincoln Square Mall. So definitely check out her amazing shop. And there's like so many beautiful things there. And you can get a big tagine, or I've gotten painted cups from you that I use all the time for when I have
Oh,
people over for dinner.
good.
You've got like lamps and leather and so many things.
Mhm.
Joe says, yes, they're using it now.
Oh, glad.
That's so great.
I'm so glad for you.
Yeah.
It helps actually.
Yeah, it's so great.
Mhm.
So this is just gonna make your whole house smell amazing.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm gonna take a look at the
Yes.
eggplant.
Mhm.
How is it? Is this enough steam? Or
Yeah.
do you want to see more steam?
Oh, if the let's check.
Veronica,
Yeah,
we're
so see the water? So we have the water from,
yeah, so there's
Mhm.
still water in the bottom, so that's a good
yeah,
sign.
that's a good sign, yeah.
Okay. And don't forget to put that lid on your pot.
Mhm.
Veronica, we have combined the cilantro and parsley together and
Yeah,
are just blending it and chopping it all up together. So feel free.
and we used half bunch of each, and we're gonna use this amount for both recipes.
Totally. Marcy said, can you show us how she cuts the parsley? So she's got this fancy knife. Can you see it okay? It's amazing. It reminds me of like a saw, a saw knife.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you don't, and many people won't have this knife, but
yeah.
if you just keep chopping, maybe with a bigger knife, if you
Mhm.
have like a chef's knife or a larger knife, just keep rocking through
Until it's very fine.
until it's fine. And it can be kind of like macerated. If you have a food processor,
Can use
or
it too.
you know, you can use that too. Whatever gives you, whatever is the easiest or gives you the least amount of dishes.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
So how's everybody doing? I know there were some folks that were still working on tomatoes. So after the eggplant, then you chop up their tomatoes, then you put your olive oil. And we're putting everything on a medium heat. You want some steam coming out of the pan. And the water you want to see releasing on the bottom. Our stove is always fast. So it withdraws the water fairly
bit
easily. So she used all of the stems for the most part. She cut the bottoms off of the bunches and just included the stems. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you put your parsley and cilantro into a bowl.
And we're gonna use some now we're gonna put some on the Zaalook.
Okay, so not all of it. We're gonna save.
Yeah,
We're gonna
just a handful.
just a handful of what we chopped up. We're
Mhm.
gonna put into the Zaalook.
They need some time, we can wait.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let us know where you guys are at. So we'll get an idea of if we should take a moment. So after you chop up your half a bunch of parsley and half a bunch of cilantro,
Mhm.
chop it up as finely as you possibly can. If they can't chop, it's so fine. Is that okay? Is it?
Yeah, it's fine.
okay, but
Yeah.
ideally not huge leaves.
Yeah.
So try to make it as fine as possible. And then we'll use a handful of the herbs to put into the Zaalook. We haven't done that yet, but let us know how you're doing. Okay, good job, you guys. Nilesh says we're good. Veronica says all good over here. Alexa's doing great. Marcy's still on the parsley. Slow down, please. No
Okay.
problem. Judy says, I caught up. Remind us of the recipe changes so I can mark my card. Maura and Sam says, caught up now. Paul says, all in. All right, you guys. So for the Zaalook, I wanted to tell them a little bit about how we changed. We haven't added any spices yet.
Yeah.
We haven't added the herbs, but we gave you more spices than you're gonna need. And we actually are gonna edit the
I think
spices.
it's good if they get this amount.
Okay,
Yeah, we're gonna use like about 1 tablespoon of paprika,
okay,
which is you put 1 here, and half or 1 teaspoon of cumin.
okay,
Yeah, for the Zaalook.
okay. So,
And if they will measure with teaspoons, then 1 cumin and 2 paprika.
okay. Spoonfuls. Okay.
Mhm.
So I think what we've done is we're gonna reduce our paprika from 2 tablespoons to 1 tablespoon.
Yes.
And then between a half a teaspoon and 1 teaspoon of
Of
cumin.
cumin, correct.
Does that sound okay?
Mhm.
None of the recipes will go wrong if you added more. But
Yes.
we wanted to make that edit because the Zaalook, if we were doubling this recipe, maybe we would,
We will double.
we would
yes.
double the spices, but
Mhm.
we're gonna reduce the amount of paprika and a little of the
Yes.
cumin.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? I'll put it in the chat here. So 1 tablespoon paprika and between a half a teaspoon.
And the
Hi guys, so sorry to lose you for a second. We usually are on really good internet, but it looked like I just switched to another internet so that we are better. Can you hear me okay? Okay, thanks so much. Okay, so sorry, you didn't miss too much. So let's go over the fact that we were talking about spices. So 1 tablespoon paprika and between a half to 1 teaspoon of cumin.
Correct.
That sound good?
We're gonna.
Can you hear us okay now with the internet? Let's get the screens all set up again.
I can hear you.
Thanks so much. Yeah, sorry about that. We're usually pretty good, but sometimes I know we're changing our servers, but I know that process isn't happening today. Okay, All right, so I think everybody's doing pretty well. Are you guys ready for the spices now?
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at our Zaalook.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's juicy.
Mhm.
Okay, so we got a
Okay.
nice steam on it.
Yeah, so nice watery steam.
And is it something that you want them to mix a lot
Yeah,
often?
yeah, because we're gonna mash it anyway at the end. So the more it cooks, the better.
Okay. Are you guys all getting steam on yours by now? We use induction burners here at the co-op, so it's a magnetic heat. So sometimes it can like boil immediately. So, we try to pace ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we
We're
haven't,
good.
we're about to start adding our spices.
So we're gonna
Okay.
start by the cumin,
Okay.
and as we said, like half to, yeah, this amount.
Yeah, so I would say a teaspoon
Of cumin.
of cumin, maybe even a little more.
Mhm.
Okay. More on Sam says, yep, it's like a sauna in here. I know, of course, it's so hot out. You maybe get some ice packs going for your.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this is paprika.
Okay, paprika is next. So we did about a teaspoon, maybe even a teaspoon and a half of cumin.
And about
And like
Yeah.
a tablespoon
half basically of the,
of paprika.
yes.
If you really like things seasoned, feel free to add more, but I think this will be plenty.
Mhm.
Okay.
So for the pepper,
Pepper?
it's half teaspoon.
Half teaspoon of pepper. Yeah.
Mhm. Fine, and the salt.
And then next is salt.
So a teaspoon of salt.
Yeah, between maybe like teaspoon and a half. Yeah,
Is that?
yeah, that's good.
Mhm. And if you like hot food, you can use some chili flakes.
Oh yeah, we
You-
gave you chili flakes as
Yeah.
if you like the heat. If you don't like the heat, then you don't have to add it, but
You
how
think
much?
we can
Yeah,
add
yeah,
some?
I
Okay.
love chili. How much you think?
Yeah.
Maybe like a quarter teaspoon of
Yes.
chili flakes?
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll write this all in the, let's see.
That's it. And stir. So everything is
Ooh,
merged
it smells
together.
good. So yeah, we did a quarter teaspoon of chili flakes because we like a little heat. And we did about half a teaspoon of cumin and about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. And then we did about like a teaspoon or so of salt. So depending if you like things salty, you can do it to taste.
Mhm. Okay. We're gonna add parsley, so a handful of parsley and cilantro,
Okay.
and we're gonna leave it.
Oh my goodness. A handful of parsley and cilantro. Looks good.
Mhm.
And just mix it
Mix
and let it keep going.
and leave it, yeah,
All right.
on a small
Oh,
medium.
the spices are really coming through.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
really,
That's
that really it. And then,
Just watch the water.
okay.
Yeah.
So if they notice it's starting to, we definitely don't want it to burn, but if it's
Yeah.
starting to get really dry, then you'd add maybe a couple teaspoons of water.
Water. Yeah.
Okay. And Veronica and Alex, we just added a handful of the cilantro and parsley.
That's great.
And Amy, we added 2 garlic cloves before the spices, but they could probably go in with the spices.
Yes.
Just grate. We recommend grating them, grating the 2 cloves, and just add it into your pot. Okay. And just let it simmer, covered, and just we'll keep an eye out to watch for water, how the water is. If it's running out, we'll add more.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think we've got about an hour for the other 2 recipes, which I think is just going to be great.
Yeah. So hopefully everyone is following us. We can start marinating
Yeah,
the ground beef.
great.
Yes.
So we'll do the same, whether you're using the Beyond Beef, the vegan option, or the meat, you'll do it the same way.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna start by peeling the onion
Okay.
and grate it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll use the same grater. Well, we'll use the
The
larger
larger.
holes for
Yeah.
grating our 1 onion,
Yeah.
our yellow onion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're more comfortable with just taking the outer layer off with a knife, you can do that. But then you'll just grate the whole onion,
Mm-hmm.
which hopefully doesn't make anybody cry.
Yeah.
We've had more success with of crying with the red onions, so maybe yellow will be okay. Oh, do you take the root out?
I do, yeah.
I love that.
Okay, maybe I can watch it for
Okay.
a second.
Does that help with the fumes, like the
Yeah.
washing the onion? Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to grate it
Okay.
in here.
Into a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, I will use some of the onion in the ground beef and some in the tagine.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think about half the
Half,
onion
yes.
will go in with the meat, and then the rest will be left for the sauce.
That's 1 pound of meat, right?
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about tagine, what that kind of means?
So the tagine is a pot that we call tagine. It's made of clay, and it's very traditional in Morocco, and it's been used for like thousands of years. It's a slow cooking process. Since the tagine is made of clay, and also it used to be cooked on charcoal.
Mhm.
So it's super slow and super tasty and healthy.
Mm. That's great.
And in Morocco, we have a lot of types of tagines. We have the sweet, the salty, tagine with meat, with chicken, with fish. So a lot of kinds of tagine.
Mm. And we made a chicken tagine last time.
Yeah.
And I just found it so interesting that like once you set things in there, you kind of
And
just
you
let
leave
it,
it.
you just set
Mhm.
it and leave it. So we'll be working on making the meatballs, seasoning the meatballs,
And
and then making the sauce. And then once
Mhm.
you add the meatballs in, you're kind of like steaming them.
yes.
Uh,
Be-
So we're just grating their whole onion.
Mhm.
And be careful of those little fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love seeing all the videos of everybody in their kitchen. You guys are doing great. And a lot of you are wearing orange today, orange or red. So good color coordinating. One day we'll get like chef coats for everybody.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
There's some of you that maybe have taken the class. And we had like a local pasta class. It was several years ago,
Mm.
and there was I think a bunch of maybe even like a frat, a bunch of college students. They were making like
Uniform.
yeah, they had the chef hats,
Hats.
the really
Oh,
tall ones, and they had gotten like 7 kits because they were going to be making it with like 15 people, and so they
People.
were on the
Mhm.
they were a part of that. So I don't know. Has anybody taken other? I know there's some of you that have taken other classes, other virtual classes with us. Has there been other favorites that you've enjoyed?
Okay,
Oh my
so
gosh, great. So the Tali family, they're so wonderful. They take a lot of our classes, and they said,
Aw.
we tasted the first dish. It is so good. I'm
Aw,
so glad. I'm so
yeah.
glad to always see your guys' name when you register.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the whole onion grated. Now we're gonna divide it
Into
2 different bowls.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna put some in the tagine or in the,
Okay.
are we using this one?
Yeah, we can if you
Yeah.
want. Is that all right?
Mhm.
Or do you want it closer to you? We could scooch. We could have the tagine here or have this simmer.
Yeah, we can
Have that
switch
there?
these
Okay.
two. Yes.
So we're gonna move so the tagine is closer. Do you know what the temperature is? What the number is on there?
210.
Okay. All right. So the Zaalook is basically done, but we want it to keep simmering, and it's doing so good. And then, so we're gonna put, you said half of the onion
Yes.
into the
Mhm.
like skillet,
Yes.
just straight in, no oil. I love
We're
that.
gonna saute it.
Okay, we are
a
gonna
little bit.
saute it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
But
do you want
now-
it the same temperature as the
Oh,
Zaalook?
until I prepare everything.
Not yet.
So the onion doesn't burn.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
So, yeah, let's have the meats. So we're gonna add the meats.
Okay.
Is everybody following?
So let's
I don't wanna go faster.
I'm so glad people said that the Swahili class was great. I'm so glad. And then they said the first class, we're already signing up for the next one.
Oh,
And then there was someone from Kenya. Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm so glad. So, okay, let me repeat again so everybody's on board. So we
Mhm.
grated the onion. We
yes.
had it in one bowl. We took half of the grated onion and we put it into what we're going to use for the tagine.
Yes.
The remaining half is still in that same bowl, and we're going to use that to mix in with our meat.
Meats, yeah. So there is two steps in this dish. Well, one is the ground meats. We're gonna marinate it, the ground meats. And then we have the tagine,
Okay.
the sauce,
the sauce.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next step is just opening our meat, which you might have to use a knife or a scissors.
Yeah.
And we were considering using lamb, right? There was a potential option. People make it with lamb, or is it always ground beef?
It's by preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever you prefer.
And make sure I just lowered the temp of the Zaalook. So, because it was boiling a little too high. So just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, maybe I need to use the
The
knife.
scissors?
The
Yeah,
scissors.
yeah, sure.
Just,
Yeah, these packages are sometimes so heavy duty.
yeah. Just don't want to take all that water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if you can strain out the juice,
Mhm.
keep the juice from going into the pan.
Yeah. So basically to marinate the ground beef, we're gonna use some
Spices.
spices and cilantro and
Okay. Sounds good.
I will wash my hands really quick.
So we'll be about to spice our meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexis, she said this would be great for ground deer meat that I get from a friend.
Yeah, deer
And
is good too.
Deer would be delicious.
Yeah.
So
I
Paul said
have-
half the onion goes in with the ground beef. Yes.
Mhm.
And then half of the rest of the onion goes into the pan that we'll use for the tagine. Sound good? Okay, so spices, I'll repeat these and repeat these out. So
So it's half teaspoon of pepper
Mm-hmm.
goes in the kufta, in the ground beef.
Okay.
This is paprika,
Mm-hmm.
like 1 teaspoon of paprika.
1 teaspoon of paprika. So we went a little less,
Mm-hmm. Or a little bit
or
more.
1.5. Okay. 1.5
Mhm.
teaspoons of paprika. We did about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. So
We have kufta spices,
yes.
so
Okay.
you can add it all.
Okay. All of the kufta.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And a half teaspoon of cumin.
Okay. Half teaspoon of cumin.
Mm-hmm. And then
All of the kufta spices, and about 1.5 teaspoons of paprika,
mm-hmm.
and like a big scoop of salt.
Salt.
About a teaspoon of salt.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna add some of parsley and
Oh, the question was, what is the kufta spice? So this is something that we
Yeah.
got from Casablanca Bazaar from Hind. And I'll show you it. We have an extra little leftover from our bottle. So it says kufta spice, and it's a blend. Says garlic, cinnamon, cumin, nutmeg, mild paprika, hot paprika, piment, and salt.
yeah.
So would piment just be pepper, like black pepper?
Piment, it's chili,
Oh, chili powder.
something hot.
Okay, chili. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
pimento in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mhm.
So yeah, you can get this kofta spice at Casablanca Bazaar. It's on her shelves. Okay, so you
Okay.
did another handful of this.
So before I will put my hands in the meat, I will check the zaalook.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Marcy, we added all of the kofta spice, so feel free to just add the whole container.
Yes, it's doing good. Yeah, it's doing
Oh, it's
good.
looking
It's
so
so
good.
buttery.
Do you want it a little higher heat?
Once it's all cooked, we're gonna take the lid off and put the heat higher. So we take rid of all the water.
Okay, you want it to be thick.
Yes, to be
Okay. So we're
Trying
just
to
kind of mashing
mash it,
things a
yeah.
little bit. So you're kind of looking to make sure the eggplant is fully mushy
Yeah.
before before we start to thicken it by taking off the lid.
Mhm. It looks good.
How does your Zaalook looking?
Yes.
I'm making all these unintentional puns, but it's
Yeah.
great. Okay. So
Okay.
again, we just put another handful of the chopped up parsley and cilantro. We've got our half grated onion. And the only thing that we strayed from with the meatball spice recipe was we did a little bit less pepper, black pepper. And overall we kept the cumin and paprika about the same. So okay. Now with your hand, you're just gonna
Mhm.
meld it
Mix
together.
all together
Okay.
until everything is incorporated.
Oh, you can smell the spices.
Mhm.
Mm. So do you have a favorite tagine? Like
Me,
I guess you maybe have a favorite like
food,
pot,
you
but
know?
maybe just like the what's your favorite food tagine dish to make?
We have a meat with prunes. Yeah, like lamb or veal
Oh,
with
yum.
with prunes and almonds.
That sounds so good. So
Yeah.
you stuff the prunes or you
No,
just
no,
add
you
them in?
caramelize the prunes. Yeah,
Wow.
you caramelize the prunes and you fry the almond,
Good.
and this is so yummy.
Yeah, we'll have to do that for another class.
Yeah.
We get prunes. We can make that. That sounds delicious.
Dry prunes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you now our
Meats
meat
combined.
yeah, it's combined. It's ready. We're gonna leave it aside and we're gonna work on the sauce. And then we're gonna come back to it to make it
Okay.
like balls,
Great.
small balls.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
so combine, just mix your ground beef enough that it is incorporating all the spices. Are you still working on that? You don't want to respond if your hands have meat on them. But we're gonna wash our hands and then we'll move to the pan, the tagine pan, and make our sauce. All right. Great, you guys. I bet your kitchen is starting to smell really good. We're so glad you're cooking with us today. And nothing's better than learning and then being able to eat the full meal afterwards, you know? So I'm so glad. And I can't talk about these cookies enough. They're so good. Okay. So we're gonna work on the sauce next.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna basically repeat 2 steps. We're gonna dice in again the tomato and grind in the garlic.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do everything the same with the tomato, where
Yes.
we peel it,
Same.
take out the seeds,
Yes.
chop it up, dice up your tomato.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, did
Please.
you add, I'm sorry, did you add the parsley and cilantro to the meat?
Yes.
We did a handful.
Hey, just a handful. Will we need more of it for the sauce, or is it just, okay, so save some?
Yeah, actually, that's the one thing. Sorry, we didn't add that in the meatball section, but yeah, we still have, I'll show you. We've added a handful into the Zaalook, a handful into the meat, and we still have maybe like 2 handfuls worth of the herbs. Does that help at all?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Yeah. So we will still put more herbs
In the sauce.
into the sauce, but yeah, you can kind of see this meat looks amazing with all the herbs and spices in it. So thank you for catching that. Appreciate that. Okay.
So we're gonna drizzle some oil into maybe 3 teaspoons.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 teaspoons of olive oil is going to go in with the onions in your pan.
Mm-hmm.
And are we
We're
gonna saute
use,
that?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will quickly add the garlic into it.
Judy had a question about the kufta spices. In the recipe, we said that there was gonna be some in the meatballs and some in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But we added all of the kufta into the meatballs. Should we just have them use all of it
Yeah,
in the
the
meatballs?
kufta.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, maybe it was confusing.
No, it's okay.
So I meant by the cumin, the paprika, the black pepper, and the chili that we're gonna use. But for
Okay.
the kufta, all goes to the meat.
Okay, so don't worry. So we have switched it up a little bit. So all of the kufta spices that are in that little container is all gonna go into the meat.
Yeah, but for the rest, yes, they go in both.
Okay. And then we'll
For
add
the
more spices to the
meatballs-
sauce.
For the meatballs, do we add an egg?
Egg?
No egg. No
No.
egg.
No egg.
I do put egg in some of my meatballs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I do too.
I think all the egg is just gonna be for the cookies.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
You're
If you did add an egg, that's okay. You could, as long as you have 2 for your cookies.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. So now we're gonna grind the
So we're gonna grate our garlic. Marcy, the oil was three teaspoons.
Yes.
So yeah, the 2 leftover garlic cloves are just gonna get grated up.
Want to waste any.
Okay,
Yeah, so we're gonna add the garlic into the onion,
okay.
And
And then
we're
how
gonna-
high do you want the
medium high,
medium heat?
medium heat, so it doesn't burn.
Okay. So we've got our 3 teaspoons of olive oil, our half grated onion, and the 2 cloves. And we're just putting it on like medium heat. We kind of want to saute these onions up.
Yeah, and then I will wash these
Okay.
tomatoes.
Any questions so far? Sorry, we did a little bit different from the recipe card, but in the end, I think it will all work out. We'll have plenty of spices.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start, I think we're done with this.
Sure. You want me to toss this in the garbage over here?
Yeah,
Okay. So then we're gonna peel our 2 tomatoes. Oh, maybe this is too hot.
is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Just, I need to be quick adding tomatoes.
Or I can lower it.
Okay.
So we're actually gonna lower our temp because the pan was getting hot and the tomatoes aren't ready yet. So we're just gonna keep it on low. It smells good though. I don't usually grate my onion, but it really releases a lot more liquid.
Yes.
I like that.
mhm.
Everybody doing okay? You let me know if you need anything. If you need me to talk out any of the steps. So Hind is coring her 2 other tomatoes and peeling them. You're so fast with your knife. I love that knife. We've got one here at the co-op.
Like
That
this
type of
one.
paring knife. It's really nice.
Mhm.
Nothing's better than working with knives that you're familiar with,
Yeah.
you know?
Remember last time I,
Oh yeah, you
yeah,
cut yourself.
I
I'm
cut
so
my
sorry
hand.
about that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Eve, you had a question about the kufta spices. So what you need to know is that there's a kufta spice container, and this all is going to go into your ground beef with the half grated onion. And then we also added other spices in addition. So we added about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons cumin, and we did about a half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of black pepper. So, and then we did about a teaspoon of salt. Oh, let me read these out for you. So what's inside the kufta spices again is garlic, cinnamon, cumin, nutmeg, mild paprika, hot paprika, piment, which I think is chili powder,
Mhm.
and salt. So let me know. Feel free if there's any allergies, you let me know. I'll make sure we can double check for that. Or if you feel like you don't want to use it, you can supplement, with. But I think the kofta spices are really nice because it has that nutmeg that will
Mhm.
kind of give it
And
the
cinnamon
and cinnamon, like
yeah.
these warming
Mhm.
spices. So I'm so excited. It's gonna smell so good in here. Okay. So we're just coring out those seeds again.
So good.
Yeah, we've started working with more local farmers in Southern Illinois and Kentucky. So we're able to really get a lot more, although we love all of our local farms in Central Illinois, the season, we're allowed to kind of have a little bit more season extension by working with farms that are south of here. So we've gotten all these tomatoes from this small farm in Kentucky. And they're working together with other farmers to deliver more food to Central Illinois and Chicago. So we've actually been able to double the amount of local food that we were able to have because these farmers are working together. So that's so great.
So we're gonna start dicing.
Okay.
If you would like to use like a food processor and get a sauce of this, you can.
Okay. Maybe just doing like a small dice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar cut to what you did for the Zaalook.
The Zaalook,
Mhm.
yes.
And do you want this to be hotter?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna increase the heat on our onions now that we're closer with our tomatoes.
Mhm.
So again, a medium heat. Absolutely. You've said, yeah, feel free to make a blend minus the piment and paprika. Would you say that overall the kofta is kind of like equal amounts of like nutmeg and things, but nutmeg's pretty
No,
strong, so maybe just a
equal-
hint.
Yeah, not the same amounts.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we've got our olive oil and our half of grated onion and our grated garlic. Doing pretty good. Do you want me to stir it at all? Do you want me to start preheating the oven for the
For that,
cookies? Or should we wait?
For the
Well-
last two tomatoes, do we need to peel those?
Yeah, she's peeling them. So
Yeah,
if you don't mind, that would be great. We'll do the same process that we did for the Zaalook
yeah.
with the tomatoes. So peel the
Because we would like
skins.
them to turn into a sauce. So that's why we peel them. I think this,
Too high?
no, we can now add yeah,
We're gonna add some of the tomatoes to our onion and garlic.
yeah. I think we finished peeling.
Okay.
Hi, do we add all the tomatoes at this point?
Yeah, we're gonna add 2 full tomatoes that have been peeled, and then she also took the seeds out. And that can just be diced up and just added right into the sauteed onions and garlic. Okay,
Okay, we're gonna put the lid on this so the tomato turns into a sauce and
sounds great. So yeah, we had 2, I think we gave everyone 4 tomatoes in their kit. 2 of them went into the Zaalook and 2 of them are in for the Kufta Tagine sauce. Starting to smell really good. Okay, so we're putting our lid on. Again, similar to the Zaalook, we want to capture all of that steam. And medium
Yes.
heat again on that. Okay.
okay, now we're gonna work on balling our kufta, but I would like to check
Yeah, that's a
on
look.
Zaalook.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, it does look
Looks-
thicker.
Mm-hmm. It looks good now.
Mhm.
Yeah, at this point, if your Zaalook is like this, you can turn the heat higher.
Okay.
and
Like to high heat or a little bit, just a little bit higher?
and take off the lid.
Okay. And so we're kind of trying to evaporate some of that water.
Evaporates all the water.
Okay, so it's like thick, really,
Mhm.
really thick. And then keep an eye, we don't want it to burn.
Yes, for sure.
And do you want it to still like simmer? Or do you want to see it boiling?
A little bit boiling, and we're gonna add some olive oil.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And a little bit of, just to garnish with parsley and
Sounds great.
yes.
Okay,
So, and in the meantime, I'm gonna make small, like, it's up to you, what size would you like your balls to be, but like just small,
yeah, you're doing
small to
smaller ones.
medium.
That way they'll cook. You want them all to be
Yeah, same
the
size.
same size so they cook.
Mhm.
And that one is not, raw still. So again, we took the lid off of our Zaalook. We mixed it a little bit and then we put it on higher heat. So we're getting a lot more steam coming out of the pan. And that will release some of the liquid. So take that lid off your Zaalook. It's probably ready to thicken up. And then we'll just make small, like 1 inch, 1 to 2.5, I guess it's 1.5 inch sized balls. And just do that until they're all done.
Yeah.
And our
While-
sauce is looking good. It's
Mhm.
starting to release some of the water. Do you think the slow simmer is good? Do you want it hotter at all?
No, it's good, so
It's
it
simmering?
doesn't burn.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay if just a little bit, and we're gonna add the sauce and the parsley, the spices.
We haven't added any of the dry spices yet
Yeah,
to our sauce,
but we will.
Judy, but we will. Right now, it's just kind of simmering with just the garlic and olive oil and onion. You're doing so good. And you told me that there's recipes. We're doing just the ground beef kufta, but that some people crack eggs
On top
into
of it.
kind of like a shashuka.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone made a tagine before? I think I see a lot of rolling of meatballs, so don't feel like you have to answer right now.
So I'm glad everyone is same step.
Yeah. Oh, I am curious. So how many people are cooking with other people? I see Marion has 2 folks and Veronica and Alex are cooking together. And I think I saw Maura and Sam. I'm always so curious, how many folks cooking together. I know there's a lot of you that are doing it solo and cooking it up a storm. So good on you.
It's good to have someone like cooking mates.
Yeah. I know. My boyfriend, he cooks. He's worked at a lot of the restaurants around town here. And so usually,
He has
we trade off.
experience.
Yeah, I'm lucky that he likes to cook. But we usually trade off. So
Yeah, that's
it would be
good.
nice to do more cooking together. Okay, things are good. Do you want me to stir anything?
I think it's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
does.
can stir it if
Higher,
you would like.
higher heat on this or no?
No. See,
Yeah,
it's harder to,
harder to gauge at the bottom.
yes,
Mhm.
this is what we would like.
Yeah. So you want when you're mixing
Mi-
it to kind of be dry at the
Yes,
bottom.
at the bottom, yes.
Uh-huh. Yes. Genevieve takes our classes and she takes notes during the class and then the next day you make it for you and your son, right? The following day she like listens to everything, takes notes, and then she makes it the next day when
That's
he's there,
good.
which
That's
is so
great.
sweet. I'm so glad that you take our classes, Genevieve.
Almost there.
And our tomatoes are really releasing a lot more water.
Mm-hmm.
I might start by preheating our oven
Mm-hmm.
to 250.
Yes.
So it is a low temperature for these cookies. I remember last time
It's
when we made it.
350.
Oh, is it 350?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So not 250, it's gonna be 350.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. Okay, so everybody, if you don't mind, if your hands are not in meatballs, preheat your oven to 350. If you have a convection oven, I know that I think last time we did like 325 just because this oven is so strong.
So hot.
Yeah, so if you have a convection oven, maybe 325. If you have a regular amazing oven,
350.
350 is great too. So
Mhm.
convection ovens are known for having a lot more. They're great for baking. This one is like a really small convection oven, and so it just bake the heat and the
Yeah, there is
lot
not
more.
space. Yeah, so gets hotter
Mhm.
quickly.
It blows more air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Everybody in our front of house at our cashiers, they always get so jealous on these days because they have to smell all the good things.
Okay, so
But I
our
usually
bowls are
I
ready.
share some things with them.
Yeah.
Marcy, yes, our tomatoes are covered. So if you don't have a lid on them yet, put a lid on them, and that will help keep things from burning, and it will kind of help break down those tomatoes. And here's a look at our Zaalook. It's doing really well. We increased the heat, and there's still a lot of liquid.
It
Um,
is.
Well, actually, not really. It's all just
Yeah.
coming to the top
Mm-hmm.
because it's really dry in the bottom. But we
Yes.
just don't want to burn it.
Yeah,
So-
but it's still doing good.
Mm-hmm. And you said that when the Zaalook really loses more water, you'll add a little bit more olive oil to it
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of the
Oh.
cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. It's just breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't peel my tomatoes usually,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna start doing it because it really does like break down that much easier.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the skins can kind of keep everything
Yeah, all together.
connected.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're just giving our tomato sauce a stir. And we haven't added the parsley or spices to the tomato sauce yet. You think we're close to doing that?
Yes, once the tomato is kind of breaking down
Okay.
very well, yeah, we're gonna start adding.
It's probably a good idea to wait for the tomatoes to break down. That way
Mhm.
the spices don't burn or,
Yes.
you know.
Mhm.
So you're just kind of mashing everything up a little bit.
Yeah, I think we can add some spices now.
And if they were to make these recipes again, would there be like a drink or a beverage that traditionally you have, where you have a sparkling water or
Yeah,
like tea or?
tea,
Mhm.
like mint tea, like apple juice, any can go with it. Yeah, so I would put the lid here.
So we've taken off the lid for the tomato sauce.
We're gonna
for
put it back
now.
once we put
Okay.
the balls. Okay, so let's.
All right, here comes some of the spices.
Mhm.
So generous spoonful of salt,
Mhm.
probably like a little bit more than a teaspoon.
half.
Probably like a teaspoon of cumin.
Cumin. Teaspoon of pepper.
Teaspoon of pepper.
Maybe a tablespoon of paprika.
Probably like,
Oh,
yeah, a couple teaspoons of paprika.
mhm. And also the chili if you would like some.
A little chili flake,
Mhm.
maybe like eighth of to a quarter.
Yeah.
Just a pinch of chili flake.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. Smells good.
It looks so good. And it's kind of thickened up with those
Mhm.
spices.
Yes.
Yum, yum, yum. We're just stirring all these spices in. So
Mhm.
yeah, we did add the black pepper, the cumin, the paprika, and salt.
Mhm. Now we can add our
Tomato sauce.
tomato sauce.
Okay. So we're adding the box tomato sauce right now. And that's good because it give it a little bit more liquid.
Mhm.
You might have to shake it a bit. 'Cause- Well,
Box?
sorry, what were you saying?
Do you add the whole box?
It depends on how watery you would like your tagine. Let me see. I think I added 2/3 of it, and I think
Yeah.
it's enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So two-thirds of the palmy tomato sauce.
Yeah.
You could add all of it. It might just be a
If
little
you-
thinner.
Yes.
But if you, meaning like if you've already added all of it,
that's
that's fine.
Yeah.
But you only added 2/3.
2/3 of it.
Okay. Good question. All right.
Okay.
Is it time for the,
We're gonna add some parsley and cilantro to the sauce
okay,
and the meatballs.
a couple pinches of the cilantro and parsley on top.
Mhm.
And we'll stir it in a little.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it already smells really good.
And the meatballs.
Okay, so do you like to put them, just kind of circle them
In a
around?
circle, yeah.
Nice. Okay. So circle your meatballs into your sauce. So again, we added 2/3 of the box of the palmy tomato sauce. And now we're just scattering the meatballs on top.
Mhm.
And you'll still need your lid because that will be the way that it will help steam. Oh my gosh, it's gonna look so pretty. Okay, so again, now's the time to preheat your oven if you haven't yet. So 350, 325, either one. All right, look at how pretty they are.
Yeah. So you can just try to add some sauce on top of the meats.
Okay, with a little spoon,
Yeah.
just so they get
Or just
covered.
shake this so
Okay.
they can get some of the sauce on top of it. But carefully so you don't ruin your balls.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So just a little drizzle of that
Yeah.
sauce on there will get it,
Mhm.
incorporate those spices. Get them like locked in to cook.
Mm.
Has there ever been any times where you've had trouble with them cooking? As long as the lid's on, they don't,
Yeah.
you
they
just
cook
wait until
very
they cook.
fast. Yeah. So I think now is
Okay.
They're ready.
And then typically they cook for like 10 minutes?
Yes.
Or until
Oh.
they look done?
Yes.
Okay, oh yeah, the lid is perfect. This lid was a little too small for this pan, but it's honestly perfect for the amount that we have in there. So I'm glad
Yeah.
glad to see that. Okay,
Well,
I
let me
think-
just think.
clean up a little.
Yeah, clean up and see the Zaalook if it's ready.
Okay,
Yeah, Zaalook is ready. We're
okay.
gonna turn off the,
It kind of has like that paste at the bottom. Is that
Yeah.
what you're looking for?
this is what I'm looking for. This means that it's off of water.
Mm-hmm.
All the water evaporated.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay. So our Zaalook, you can even see in the video that it is drier. It's not as shiny.
so we're gonna add some olive oil on
Okay.
it.
Just a little drizzle,
Mhm.
2 spoonfuls of olive oil, maybe even 3.
Mhm.
Yum. And just let it keep cooking or,
Yeah, for a few seconds.
okay,
And then we can turn the
heat off.
heat off.
Okay.
And if we put it,
Add olive oil to which one?
Add a little olive oil, sorry, to the Zaalook. So she drizzled just maybe like 2 to 3 spoonfuls of olive oil on the very top, and it's about done. So we'll probably give it just a couple more seconds and then turn off the heat.
Mhm. Then once we can garnish with some,
Oh. Garnish with the cilantro and parsley on the top.
Mhm. And it's done.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, should I turn off the heat?
Yes.
Okay. Look how pretty. And it's gonna be so good with the crusty bread.
Yes. Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna clean up before we get ready for our cookies.
Mhm.
And we do have this, we gave you some ciabatta bread. So, Hind, do you usually like toast it
Yeah, a little bit in
in
the
the oven?
oven. And
Put
then,
a Ring on it?
You can't mix it up. The greens are for garnish.
Or is it- okay, hold on. Yeah, that's good. What do you think?
That looks good. Mhm. Good.
Put it on.
Okay, so we're just cleaning up a little bit and then we'll be moving on to the cookies, which are really pretty quick.
yes.
Um, so you'll need a bowl and a spoon, most likely. And then actually probably 2 bowls. They're gonna need one for
For
the
the,
powdered sugar, unless they want to use this bowl.
I think it will be small.
Too small, yeah.
Yeah, it's too
Okay.
small.
So we need like a cookie bowl and then a smaller bowl for the powdered sugar. So I'll get you that. Here.
This would like to make sure that the counter is very clean, so
No ground beef.
no ground beef or garlic.
Yes. Nothing's worse than a cutting board that still has garlic on it,
Yes.
you know? And
Mhm.
oh my gosh, I once had one of my roommates in college, I was chopping up these amazing peaches and I had just
Oh,
made garlic something and it was like garlicky
Garlicky
peaches. I'm like,
peaches.
no,
no.
nothing's worse. Okay, so you need a smaller bowl for your powdered sugar, a larger bowl for your cookie batter. And then I'm also gonna get a sheet tray for the
Mhm.
cookies to bake on. So. So we have a sheet tray here. How's everybody doing? You still working on anything? Is anyone still doing meatballs? Okay. Okay, great.
Okay, I think we need a batter. The
Yeah.
the
Spatula?
no this one batter, right? We call it.
Oh, a beater. Oh,
No,
yeah, yeah.
this one.
Oh, sorry, whisk.
Whisk.
Yeah, perfect.
Forgot.
No, no, it's okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so
a
you'll need a whisk.
Mhm.
Okay, so a whisk, a bowl, a smaller bowl for the powdered sugar, because we are gonna roll the cookies in powdered sugar before we bake
Yeah.
them. So that's fun.
So the idea is we're gonna do. Is there another grater?
Oh, yeah,
Clean one
yeah.
for the zest. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So if you have another grater besides the one that we used for the garlic, that's ideal. If not, just be really good about cleaning it.
Yes. So we will be adding 2 eggs. We're gonna crack the 2 eggs in the bowl. Mm,
And these are local eggs from Little Farm on the Prairie. They have some of the brightest yolks.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
like a pinch of salt, just a pinch,
Okay, pinch of salt.
just to elevate the sugar
Mhm.
taste. Sugar.
The cane sugar.
Mhm.
So not the powdered sugar.
Yeah, not the
just,
powder. Last
the
time someone.
yeah, someone did.
Yeah, so it's the
Just the regular labeled
the grain-
sugar.
Yeah, grinded sugars. The oil.
Okay. All of the oil.
All of it, yes. The jam,
Okay.
you have a small container with some
Yeah,
jam.
this apricot jam. I love that the cookies
Mhm.
have the jam.
Yes.
Is there any other jam that you put in besides apricot? Or is
It's better for the color.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if we put another
It make it
jam,
brown or
yes,
Mhm.
it will change the color.
Okay.
And we're gonna whisk.
okay. So we did a pinch of salt, we did the 2 eggs, all of the sugar, the oil. We haven't done the grated lemon yet, but
Yeah, we will.
sorry.
No, what is this? Maybe it was in the whisk. Or
Sorry about that.
no, that's
Our whisk had some herb on it still.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So we just whisked this up pretty good.
Yeah, until everything is incorporated all together.
Sean, it was all the sugar, all the regular sugar. So we're leaving the powdered sugar at the very end. We roll our cookie batter into the powdered sugar, but it's all of the regular sugar, a pinch of salt, all of the canola oil, 2 eggs,
We're gonna
and
try
now we're gonna
to
zest our
zest
lemon.
our lemon.
You think like all of the
Oh.
whole lemon?
No, like the most we can get
Okay.
from the lemon. Yeah.
Yummy. Good,
Mm-hmm.
great.
Okay, now we're gonna add our semolina and shredded coconuts,
Okay.
the dry ingredients.
Okay. And then the baking powder too.
Yes.
And our,
Is it simmering?
yeah.
Oops. Yeah, I told you it's gonna.
So it's getting hot and simmering pretty heavy. It's good.
Yeah,
the way it
it is
looks.
good. It looks good. So once the meat is done and the sauce gets a little bit thicker,
Mm,
it's ready.
okay. And you keep the lid on the whole time though.
No, we can, as we did for the Zaalook, to thick up a little bit the sauce, we will take, once the meat is done, we can take off the
To thicken
lid,
it up. Okay,
yes.
sounds good. So we are adding all of the
dry.
coconut, all of the semolina, and all of the baking powder.
Yeah, and now we're gonna mix.
Right?
We're gonna mix.
Okay. You're so good with using your hands.
Did we add the jam yet?
We
Did we add?
Yes.
Is that what you were asking?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we whisked that in with the eggs. With the eggs, the sugar, the salt, lemon zest, and oil. And then all of the dry, so all of the coconut and the semolina and the baking, is it baking powder?
Yes.
Baking powder goes in.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have this thick cookie batter.
Yes. We can leave it, I don't know what time is it now, but we
Okay.
can leave it for a few minutes just to dry up a little bit up, and then
Okay.
we're gonna form small balls.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a couple minutes for the batter to absorb some of the dry,
Liquids. Mhm.
maybe like 3 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while we do that, we can just clean up all of our little containers. And we can pour our powdered sugar into the other bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
We can,
So we're gonna take off the lid and keep it, let it like dry a little bit. So
Okay.
it has a lot of water.
okay. So our meatballs are done. I think your meatballs might be done as well. So yeah, the lid will kind of reduce the sauce a bit.
Mhm.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to try the Zaalook. You want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anybody tried their Zaalook? I think
Let us know.
I think the Talley family said they did.
Mhm. Mm.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Mmm. That's the best eggplant dish.
Yeah.
Oh, and the parsley really comes through too.
Mhm.
Oh, yummy.
So good.
Delish. Let us know if you've tried your Zaalook. Maybe a little spoonful to keep you going.
Mhm.
So again, we've gotten the lid off of our meatballs,
Mhm.
and you can see that there's still some liquid.
There, yeah, it should be off, like all the liquid should evaporate.
Okay.
And
We want it to be thicker.
Mhm.
Kayla says, amazing.
Yeah, we can start forming or shaping our.
Okay. So everybody got some parchment that will go on your baking sheet.
Mhm.
And then we've got our batter and our bowl of powdered sugar.
Yes. So we're gonna take like this size.
Kind of the
Oh.
same as the meatball.
Yeah, maybe a little more.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put them in the coconuts,
Or in the powdered sugar.
in the powdered sugar.
No, you're fine.
Yes,
So we're doing a lot of rolling of
yeah.
little balls.
Mm-hmm. Little more.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
ideally, you just want them to be as even as possible. That way they cook at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. We usually put some our hands in some not blossom water just to
Oh.
avoid to be sticky.
Oh, amazing. What kind of
Yeah.
blossom water? Any?
There is one kind
Is
of
there one kind?
Yeah,
Is it
blossom wa-
rose? Rose
no
or?
blossom water.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Like a orange blossom?
Yes, the
Oh,
orange
nice.
blossom. Yeah.
Oh, that would give it a nice like flavor too.
Yes.
Orange blossom.
Yeah. The rose one is kind of strong.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
ruined some cupcakes once with
Oh,
too much
too much
too much rose
Yeah.
rose water. It's like salty, I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is. Yeah, the orange one. The
Okay,
orange.
orange blossom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next time we'll do
Yeah.
that. That sounds so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah. Okay, so once we have this, we try to cover them all with coconuts. They should be all covered
Or with powdered sugar and
with
then
powder. Yeah, I'm still saying
it's
it wrong.
okay.
With powdered sugar and place them in the sheets.
And what's so interesting is when they cook, they kind of like have that crackle
Yes.
look to
On
them. They
top.
look really pretty. And they turn yellow. They've got that yellow, beautiful yellow color from the
Mhm.
apricot
And the
and the egg.
semolina, yes.
And semolina, right?
Mhm.
So how do you pronounce this cookie?
Ghribya.
Ghribya?
Mhm.
This looks so good. And these cookies, they bake for really
10 minutes.
short time. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes in the oven. Yeah, and we keep doing this until we finish our.
Sounds good. We might run over maybe 10 minutes, but you'll be having an amazing meal afterwards. Not too much longer. How are your guys' meatballs looking? Are they ours are no longer pink anymore. They're kind of a darker brown. You can tell they're fully cooked, but still really moist.
Yeah.
You know, cooking in that liquid. I will mention, so we do the virtual classes every month, with usually a different cook. And we're gonna be hosting, each of you got this, packet. Ooh, let's see, my camera is looking a little funky. Okay. So we're doing a Greek virtual cooking class, next month in well, actually, no, this July 1st is on Monday, but July 27th on Saturday, we're going to be having Chef Elisa DeMarco here for a virtual class where everyone's going to learn how to make Greek lemon chicken skewers, and then that's also going to have a homemade tzatziki sauce, that yogurt cucumber sauce. And then she's also making yamista, which is a baked tomatoes and peppers stuffed with rice and feta cheese and spices. So that'll be really good. And then scordalia is like a Greek garlic potato dip with fried zucchini chips. So she's going to use as much local as possible, but do a Greek cuisine class. And then, yeah, so feel free to sign up for that. That's just on our website, or I'll put the link in the chat if you're interested in taking that class. And maybe some of you know of her. She used to be the main chef and cheesemaker at Prairie Fruits Farm. So she's also worked at Black Dog, and she's been a trained chef around the country. And she would do a lot of local farm to table dinners. She was coordinating that at Prairie Fruits Farm. So that's really fun. So yeah, I will put that in the link if you're interested. I think there's some of you that have already signed up, so that's awesome. We're so glad to have you. And then I'll be teaching a class in August based on all the harvest ingredients from Sol Grazia Farm. They are the farm in Urbana, and they're a nonprofit farm, so they give away a lot of their food.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we've been doing like a fundraiser for them where all of the proceeds go to their food access programs.
Mhm.
So that will be in August. And then we'll be doing in September, we got a grant from the Urbana Arts and Culture Commission, Arts and Culture Program, to fund a free cooking class and meal kit. So everything, it would go to the first 40 people that registered, but it would be an Indian culinary arts class. So all the whole meal kit would be vegetarian and completely free. So that will be coming up. Oh, I put a space in that link, so it won't work. Hold on, let's try again.
I hope everyone is following me doing this. So we almost finished with the
Yeah, that's
first
so good.
tray. Trying to cover them as much as I can.
They look so good. And they won't be white when you take them out. They'll be kind of crackly, you know?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm usually not a big sweets person, but this was really just
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? I think your hands are probably in cookie batter.
Yeah.
And we're always looking for different teachers to do in-person classes or potentially virtual classes. So if there's a cultural cuisine that that you were taught from your family, you want to share it, we're always interested in having more cultural cuisine instructors here. Judy, good job, Judy. She's starting with her second tray.
Oh, great.
Amazing. And our Kufta Tagine is starting to thicken up.
Yes, it is.
It's looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on when you are gonna eat, you can just toast your ciabatta bread up.
Yes, in the oven.
So Alexis says, how many cookies does this make approximately? I don't know. I feel like, I thought
I think
last year we only used one sheet, but
less
maybe we
than
did.
20.
Yeah, less than 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think less.
Yeah, it might be like a half a sheet,
Mm-hmm.
half of a second sheet, maybe.
Yeah, this is what we did last time.
Okay,
too.
right.
Yeah.
Let me get that. So sorry, I might not have parchment. We didn't include parchment for a second sheet, but that's okay. Well, is this okay? Or do you want something a
Yeah.
little more shallow?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
I
If
can-
it doesn't stick.
I can get parchment.
Yeah.
So if you have a little parchment or aluminum foil for the second tray, that would help.
Yeah. We can take this to the oven.
Okay. So once you have your first tray, we'll stick it in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good idea. You could reuse the parchment paper
Yeah, we
after.
can, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You can too, yeah.
So we're gonna do the one tray in the oven.
Basically, around 20. 20, 22, 1.
And then we're
Just-
gonna put a timer on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna maybe check around like 7 or 8 because I know our oven was really quick last time. But let's see. I think you were
Okay.
like, oh, we got them just in time.
Okay.
So they are looking for typically 10 minutes,
10
right?
minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put the timer on for 10. Let's try that.
Even if they look not ready, just take them out. They finish cooking outside.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
They'll still be a little soft.
Soft, yeah.
Okay.
So I think 10 minutes is enough.
So again, once you have your
Can we put
cookies
some
in, oh yeah, parchment. I'm gonna set the phone down really quick.
Yes, thank you.
Paul's curious about how you serve the zaalook and the kufta
In a
Just-
serving dish.
in a serving dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any serving dish. Or for example, for the tagine, if you're cooking in a tagine, you cannot keep it in the tagine. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta lift it out into a like
Mm-hmm.
another serving platter or something like that.
Yeah.
Do
You
they
can
usually
serve
serve-
in the tagine too.
You can. Yeah.
Mhm. And for Zaalook, any side dish, any serving dish you can use.
Do they do more bowl, would you say more of like a bowl shaped one over
Yeah.
a plate or platter?
You can play with your design.
Yeah. And you've got some really amazing platters and
In the
Spot-
Casablanca.
yeah,
Bazaar,
Casablanca. They're like hand painted.
Yeah. Yay,
Interesting
handmade.
design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Has anybody been to, I know there's been a couple of you that have been to Casablanca. Anybody not been? I'm really curious.
Mhm.
You'll love it. I'm so tempted by all of those like got these like kind of lanterns and really pretty candle holders
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
like lamps. Your lamps are really pretty too. Alexa says their olive oil is great.
Yeah. Mhm. Thank you, Alexa.
And then Sneha says, is tagine eaten with rice or bread?
Bread.
Bread.
Yeah. Moroccan people like use bread more than rice.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about couscous? Is that?
Couscous is another type of grains that we use in Morocco, but it has uh, its own method and its own stew. Yeah.
The Tolley family says, we've never been. We've walked around like Square Mall during the winter market, but have never seen Casablanca. We'll look for it tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Are you open tomorrow?
We'll be closing tomorrow and Monday, but we will open on Tuesday.
Okay, come
Yeah.
through on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then what are your hours?
Usually 10 to 5.
10 to 5. That's
Mhm.
great. That's great. Yeah. It's either you I see or your husband.
Yes,
They're the
either me
sweetest
or
people.
oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I definitely recommend their glasses. I love those painted glasses.
Mm-hmm. For tea.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
even put water in them too.
Yes. Trying to clean my hands. So sticky.
Marcy says, is it time to mash the zaalook? So as we were cooking it, we were kind of stirring it. If you notice that yours is still like the eggplant is still needs to be mashed, feel free to
Yeah.
just use the edge of your spoon and kind of mash it down, chop it down. But it will probably break down a lot after all the cooking. Alexa says, are these regional dishes or are they served all over Morocco?
All over.
Okay.
Yeah, most all over Morocco. especially north and middle, like and middle.
Mhm.
Yeah, and parts of the south too. Yeah, all over.
Is tagine like
Very famous in
Central.
Morocco. Yes, tagine is also all over.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we have some certain tagines for certain regions.
Mm. I'm assuming like the coast will have all
Yeah,
fish,
yes.
you know.
Mhm.
Is there any area that doesn't do beef or
No.
I know pork is not a thing.
Yeah, pork is not. Yeah.
And then oh, Joe says they have great argan soaps at Casablanca.
Yeah.
Do you make those?
Yes.
Yeah.
These are handmade by me.
I love it.
Yeah. I send them with cedar wood. Mhm.
Sandalwood?
Cedar.
Cedarwood.
Cedar.
Oh, so nice.
Mhm.
Marcy, if your tagine sauce is still liquidy, keep maybe increase the heat a bit.
Yeah, for the Zaalook or the tagine.
She says my tagine sauce is very liquidy, so
Just
keep that lid off of it and increase the heat a little bit.
mhm.
So you want to see this like constant simmering. It's been like
Yeah.
that, and that really helps
Evaporate in the water.
evaporate. So, and then what we're seeing is like the edges start to get thicker, and then the liquid isn't kind of moving into the center and evaporating more. So just keep as these cookies cook, just keeps letting this liquid evaporate.
Mhm.
And the sauce will be really good to kind of dip in with the bread. And
Yes.
oh, she said it's already a small boil. Maybe just let it, it will start to thicken up a little bit more. Oh, a tiny, tiny one. Okay, our timer is almost up. I think we have another minute, so maybe I'll just take a look. So again, your cookies are gonna look really soft. They're not gonna be like, they'll look crackly, but they won't be hard. They're soft. They're like one of the fluffiest cookies I've ever had. They're so good. Okay, let's take a look.
I think our tagine is ready.
Okay,
We can keep it
keep it going.
going, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, let's take a look at our cookies.
Ooh, I think
You see them? You think they're done?
yes.
Amazing. And I'll set my timer for the extra tray. Oh my gosh, take a look at these beauties.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, sorry, my phone is stalled out. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, look at how pretty. They're so crackly. So they're still soft
Yeah.
a little bit, so they'll keep cooking as they cool.
Mhm. Oh, was it 7 minutes?
Ours was about 8.
8, yeah. Yeah, but at home, maybe you can keep them for 9, 10 minutes.
Okay. Doing good. How's everybody doing? Their cookies in the oven? And our sauce is getting thicker. That oil from the meatballs is kind of like got that nice shimmer. I love that. It's like so much flavor. Hey, we could put the Zaalook in a bowl maybe.
Mhm.
Let's see. Have a bowl. I don't know if that's big enough.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost there. Let us know how your cookies are doing. And I think your tagine is almost ready. Okay, Paul, thanks so much for joining us. We're so glad. We'll be sending out the video later today. So, and we'll be putting all of her recipes on our website so that you can find them and make them again, even though you have the recipes already with you. Ours have got all of the good spices on them right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cookies are perfect. Maura and Sam said.
Oh, that's great.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Christine. Take care. Yeah, you're welcome to enjoy your meal. We'll
Your
stay
dinner.
on for just until our cookies are done, but we're just so glad that we got this time to spend with you all today. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Of course, if there's any questions or you want to ask Hind anything, let us know. I'm happy to pass along any questions. Oh, great. Thank you guys.
Thank
See you in
guys for
July. Oh,
coming
great.
today.
Yeah, please sign up for our Greek class. I'd love to see you back. Catherine says, thank you. Everything smells delicious.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Cookies. Good job,
Oh,
Judy.
good job.
Okay. Well, enjoy your meal. It's going to be a good dinner tonight. And with your oven already going, just stick your bread right into the oven for a couple of minutes, and you'll have some really crusty, delicious bread to eat with your tomatoes.
Mhm.
Tomatoes and kufta.
Mhm. By the way, this tagine, it also can be great with the pasta.
Oh.
Yeah, with spaghetti, with rice. Feel
Oh.
free if you don't have bread or you don't eat bread, it can go with other things.
Oh my gosh, this would be the perfect spaghetti sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the rice. I love eating
Right.
rice, so that would be a really good one.
Quinoa, anything. Yeah, you
Mm.
can use, yeah.
And I think it's really gotten a lot thicker too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, amazing. Amy says cookies are fluffy and delicious, aren't they?
Yes.
I was so excited to have them back. Yeah, and they really once they cool, they're good hot, and once they're cool, they're still so fluffy.
Yes.
Which is unusual for cookies. They don't always do that.
It gets harder.
Uh-huh. It's that magic of the coconut and semolina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys had fun. Yeah, let us know if there's any other questions. How many people are eating right now or waiting until the end? Nice. I see hands up. I know.
Enjoy your meals.
Yeah, we're so glad to have been able to cook with you all today. And feel free to browse on our one thing I would love is feel free to check out our recipes section on our website. So if you go to our recipe section on our website and go to cultural cuisines, we have recorded all of the classes, all the virtual classes, and they have the recipes. So if you're ever interested in looking, say you missed one, or you want to go back to Hind's first class,
Yeah.
feel free. It's on the website. We have other recipes as well with local ingredients that we're always putting up there, but that's a great resource. And then we also have all of our classes posted usually on our calendar, so take a look at that. But I will send you the recording later today, and I'll also include the link to the Greek class. Okay, I think our cookies are almost done.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Veronica. She said, thanks for the great instruction. And Mary Lynn says, what fun. You guys are the best. Okay. You think these are done?
I think a little bit
A little
more.
more?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I might be tempted to try a cookie.
Okay.
Oh my
Is it-
gosh.
Is it done? Yes. Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, since we went a little bit over, I'll let you all go. Yeah, I'm so glad and enjoy your meal, and we're so glad to have you. Thank you, Hind.
You're welcome.
You're so wonderful, such a
Thank
great
you.
great teacher and chef, and we'll be
Thank you.
doing more hopefully with Hind in the future. So we'll keep you posted on any more classes with her. So
Thank you guys for
okay,
coming.
we'll let you go. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
And don't forget about those cookies. Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alia.
So fun. I love these
Um,
classes.
It's always so nice to see you and Patrick there. And same with you, Genevieve. It's really great. I'm so glad you guys keep coming back.
Yay.
Well, good job. You worked hard. You enjoy a good meal.
Oh, take care. Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.